Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, and I'm making this video to talk about the big announcement that's coming down tomorrow evening. Per Adam Schefter and many other sources, tomorrow is the day of the schedule release for the 2023 NFL season. And I want to talk about my plans on how I'm going to talk about the schedule release, how I'm going to be reacting to it, just so you guys know what's up for the next few days, and also so you know why I'm not doing particular things. Now, the schedule is getting released tomorrow. I've heard like 5 o'clock Pacific it's going to drop. I think they're doing a special show on NFL Network. And we'll probably know the full schedule for every team by like 6, if I had to guess. Maybe a little before then. But we should know every single game and the day on which it's being played before 6 o'clock Pacific tomorrow. So here's how it's going to work. Last year, me and the Hawks Nest did something that I think worked pretty well, where we did a live react to the schedule when it was released. It was released on a Thursday, like a couple hours before our show, so we both agreed we weren't going to look at it, and we would look at it live on stream. So basically, we're going to do the same thing this year. Me and the Hawks Nest are going to try to avoid looking at the schedule when it gets released, and then we look at it for the first time on stream on the Hawks Nest channel on Thursday night. Should be starting sometime around 6:30 or 7 o'clock. So if you want to see me and the Hawks Nest do our live reaction to the schedule, first time looking at it, first time trying to process exactly what the record might be this year, given the order of the games and which games are prime time, which games are Thursday night, which games are Sunday night, Monday night, etc., which games are maybe strung up back to back to back, and you just want to see our general reaction to all these things, then tune into that stream tomorrow night. Like I said, should start around 6:30 or 7, and you will see what will hopefully be an honest live reaction to the schedule. Now, I say hopefully because in order to make that happen, I'm going to have to make a concerted effort to not look until the show starts. And a couple of things. One, as I just said, the schedule is going to get released before the 7 o'clock stream. In all likelihood, we'll probably know the whole thing by like 6. So hopefully I don't see it by then. However, if you've been around long enough, you know that a lot of the schedule leaks before that time anyway. What I mean by that is the schedule tends to release in the day before, like today. We will probably see a decent chunk of the schedule leaked. The NFL is going to want to kind of slowly trickle out news about, oh, this team will be playing against this team on this day. Like, this is going to be our week 1 Thursday night showcase. This is going to be the first game the Super Bowl champions play. This is going to be the game where the Chiefs and Eagles have a rematch, because that was the Super Bowl last year. This is the Chiefs-Bengals rematch. This is the Eagles-Niners rematch. Games like that, we're probably going to know what week they get played and what time they get played sometime today. That's typically how it goes. If not today, then early tomorrow. I don't know if the NFL intends for the juicy parts of the schedule to slowly get released over time, but that's typically what happens. So it's going to be hard for me to avoid that. I'm probably going to see a few of our games and the week that they get played before the actual full schedule release tomorrow. So I may make another video once we get an idea of those leaks, once we get maybe like 4 or 5 games on the schedule and we're able to start filling in the blanks a little bit. I may discuss that in a video, but I'm going to do my best to avoid it. Now, if I run into an announcement of, hey, we are playing this game on this week, then, there's only so much I can do about it. I'm not going to block Twitter. I'm not going to turn off my internet for a day. No, I'm not going to do that. If I can't avoid it, then I can't avoid it. But my goal is to do what I can to mitigate it and be exposed to as little of the NFL schedule as possible, so that way we get the best reaction possible for the stream on the Hawks Nest channel on Thursday night. So if I don't make a video about our initial schedule leaks, and I don't make an immediate video about our immediate schedule announcement on tomorrow evening, just understand that's because I'm trying to do the stream reaction. And if you want to see me react, just tune into that stream or watch it on the VOD, watch it on VOD. So that's going to be how things go. So I'm going to ask, I've already asked this of my Discord, and I'm going to ask it of other people. Please don't try to like get my attention in the coming couple of days and ask me like, hey, what do you think about us playing this game on this week? What do you think about us playing this game on this week? What do you think about this opponent this week? I'm trying to avoid that stuff just to make the stream as good as possible. So if you try to leave a comment or message me on Twitter about that stuff, I'm just going to ignore it. I might not be looking at like Twitter noties and Twitter DMs for the next couple of days to avoid it the best that I can, at least. So just please understand that I'm trying to do a genuine reaction. Now, we do already know who we're going to play. We've known that for a long time. We already know the teams that we're going to play. So this is just a matter of the order and which games are primetime. So looking at the slate of 2023 opponents, it does seem a lot harder than it was in 2022. 2022 ended up being a very soft schedule. And you look at this slate, we do get to play our division twice, of course. And that's not so bad because the Cardinals and Rams are probably going to be really bad this year. I would expect 4 wins against those two teams. You have the Niners twice. Of course, the rest of the schedule is the stuff that's actually interesting. And just to quickly go over my general thoughts on it, you've got the Eagles. That's a team that's obviously going to be an NFC powerhouse. That's a team we haven't had to play in what feels like a couple years now. You've got a team like the Bengals. You're playing them on the road. An AFC powerhouse, a team that's going to be right up there contending for the Super Bowl. You've got the Cowboys, who have made the playoffs a couple years in a row. And you've got, I would say, the Ravens. I don't know if the Ravens are going to be great this year, but they should be good. So you've got some pretty lock-it-down, difficult opponents just at first blush. And then you have teams like the Steelers, who should at least be okay. I think the Panthers are going to at least be okay. It kind of depends on who their quarterback is when we play them. The Lions are expected to be good this year, generally speaking. So this looks like a tough schedule. It does. You've got the Browns, who could go one way or the other. I got no idea what's going to go on with the Browns. You've got a team like the Giants, who I think will take a big step back, but they do seem to be well coached. I'm not completely counting them out. Like, you look at the non-divisional schedule here, you've got the Commanders, who are probably going to be pretty bad this year because they don't have a quarterback, although they do have other things. But that's a team that is basically quarterbackless more than any other team in the league. You've got the Titans, who are probably going to go through a bit of a rebuild year and be bad. Other than that, it's hard to find the layups here. I'm not seeing a whole lot of potential layups here. I think there's some opportunity to win games, of course. I think we are going to take a step forward. But you look at this schedule, it's pretty easy to see how this team could take a step forward and still not have a better record than they did last year. Again, you never know about these things, but we may go from one of the easier schedules last year to one of the harder schedules this year. So I'm very interested to see what the schedule ends up being when it gets released tomorrow evening. Again, I'm going to try to avoid the leaks the best that I can, but this looks like a tough schedule, and we're going to have to prove ourselves if we're going to be good again this year. All right, so that's what's going on the next couple days with me. See you guys soon. Go Hawks.